Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Ali Nasser. I am the teacher of English language at Ashani School for 8th graders. This show has been prepared to revise the items of reading texts and use of language that will be included in the third assessment. Here we are going to revise step by step how to read a text and answer the items, as well as to read the items of use of language and answer them correctly. Two booklets have been prepared. The first one is about reading skill, the other one is about use of language skill. Let's start with the reading one. In the exam there will be three kinds of texts: factual account, explanatory text, and instructional text. This booklet is full of rich information that helps you pass the test easily. The first text is under the title Cinco de Mayo. The kind of the text is a factual account. The concerning standards are 7.1, 6.3. 7.1 is the standard which is concerned with studying factual account. Tips should be considered before starting answering reading questions. First, start with reading the questions. Then you get back to read the text. Then after that, once again, you read the questions to answer them. Let's consider this example. First, question number 1. What is Cinco de Mayo? The standard is 7.1. A. Independence Day of USA. B. Independence Day of Mexico. C. The day Mexican forces defeated the French forces. D. The day Mexican forces defeated the Spanish forces. Question number 2. What does the number 4,500 refer to? A. The number of French fighters in Puebla. The number of French fighters who lost their life in Puebla. C. The number of Spanish fighters who lost their life in Puebla. D. The number of Mexican fighters who defeated the French fighters. Question number 3. The kind of a question is CR, constructed response. In other words, you have to write the answer. What did the battle become later? 7.1, the concerning standard. Then you start scanning the text slowly. Cinco de Mayo. Many people think that Cinco de Mayo is Mexico's Independence Day, but it is not. The holiday of Cinco de Mayo, or the 5th of May, celebrates the day Mexican forces defeated the French forces in the Battle of Puebla in 1862. Mexico had already won its independence from Spain in 1821, but now France was trying to take over. 4,500 Mexican fighters defeated 6,500 French fighters in the tiny town of Puebla, Mexico. The battle didn't end the war, but it became a symbol of unity for the Mexican people. Cinco de Mayo is now celebrated in the USA as well as Mexico. As I told you, you read the questions once again. What is Cinco de Mayo? Independence Day of USA, Independence Day of Mexico, the day Mexican forces defeated the French forces, the day Mexican forces defeated the Spanish forces. Now you look for the information. If you look carefully, if you look carefully for the information, you will find that the answer is C. The day Mexican forces defeated the French forces. Here is the answer. The day Mexican forces defeated French forces. 2. What does the number 4,500 refer to? The concerning standard is 6.3. It's scanning. In such a question, or with such a standard, usually you find the head word 4,500. 4,500 Mexican fighters defeated 6,500 French fighters. So the answer is the number of Mexican fighters who defeated French fighters. Question number 3. What did the battle become later? Here the head words are become. Battle and become. The head words are battle and become. Try to find these words in the text. Battle, became. A symbol of unity for the Mexican people. A symbol of unity for the Mexican people. That's all about factual account. A good example about factual account taken from a student book is the text under the title Cindy Hits the Stove, Module 6, Topic Skills A, under the title of the unit Natural Disasters. The second text included in the third assessment is a kind of text called explanatory text. The concerning standards are 7.4 and 6.4. 7.4, 6.4. 7.4 is the standard which studies or which is concerned with explanatory text. Explanatory text usually is filled with passive sentences. Once again, let me remind you of the tips. You read the questions first, then the text, then you read the questions again to start answering them. Question number 4. What were kites used for? Leisure and competition, military or scientific purposes, sports or traveling purposes, sending messages and helping birds. Question number 5. Which of the following is not correct? A kite is heavier than air. A kite is made from a heavy material. Kites have been known for thousands of years. You see, the use of passive have been known. D. The wind is split into two streams of air when it travels over a kite. Question number 6. Which word in the text that means the top part of something? The concerning standard is 6.4. 6.4 is the standard which stands on finding words in the text that have the same meanings of provided words. The provided words here are leisure, pressure, surface, and wind. Which word of these in the text means the top part of something? The top part of something. You read the text. Here I brought about a text and an explanatory text about it under the title How is a Kite Flying? You start scanning the text paragraph by paragraph. Then you get back to the questions. What were kites used for? The head words are kites used. You see? They were used for military or scientific purposes. The tense is past. The tense here is also past. The structure is passive. Military or scientific purposes. So the answer is B. Which of the following is not correct? Such a question is not easy because simply you have to read the 4 choices and you have to find each choice in the text to make sure whether it is correct or not. The incorrect one or the not correct one is the correct choice. For example, a kite is heavier than the air. Get back to the text. A kite needs wind to fly because it is heavier than air. So it's a true sentence, or it's a correct statement, so that it is not the answer. B. A kite is made from a heavy material. You scan the text again. A kite is an object made from a light material. A light material, not heavy material, so the statement is not correct, so that it is the answer. B. A kite is made from a heavy material is the incorrect sentence. Which word in the text, number 6, which word in the text that means the top part of something? This question tackles the standard 6.4, which is concerned, once again I remind you, which is concerned of finding words in the text that have the same meaning of provided phrases or words. The top part of something: leisure, pressure, surface, wind. The answer is surface. The answer is surface, and here is the word surface, which means the top part of something. That's all about explanatory text, and a good example taken from a student book about explanatory text is the one under the title Bricks and Reefs, Module 6, under the C, Bricks and Reefs, and the text under the title Water Pollution, Module 6. The unit title is Save Our Planet, Water Pollution. The third text, and is the longest one, is instructional text. An instructional text could be a recipe, or could be a text full of steps or procedures or instructions. The concerning standards are 7.2, 6.3 and 6.5. Once again I remind you, you start reading the question, then the text, then once again you read the questions to find the answers. Question number 7. What's the recipe mainly about? Preparing salad, preparing soups, preparing desserts, preparing barbecue. Number 8. What does the text say about strawberry pancake? Bitter, delicious, mouth-watering, or salty? Number 9. You see, it's CR question, constructed response question. What's the step that comes after the step? Add the custard mixture. Number 10. Why do you think this recipe is popular? This kind of a question that relates to the standard 6.5 is not mainly answered from the text. It depends upon your experience with the outside world, and you get the main idea of the text, then you relate the main idea to your experience, then you can answer this question. Here it is a recipe under the title Pancake with Custard and Strawberry. You start scanning it, the title, introductory sentences, ingredients, then directions or steps or procedures. What's the recipe mainly about? Salad, soups, desserts, barbecue. Simply hear the answer. So the answer is C. What does the text say about a strawberry pancake? Strawberry pancake. Bitter, delicious, mouth-watering, salty. The head word is strawberry pancake. Pancake with a strawberry is delicious. So the answer is B. What is the step that comes after the step add the custard mixture? Now find the step add the custard mixture, then you write the step that comes after. Add the custard mixture. This is add the custard mixture. Which step comes after? Add the strawberry slices. So the answer is add the strawberry slices. Finally, what do you think this recipe is popular? The head words in the recipe is delicious, or you might write because the ingredients are available in everywhere, or it doesn't cost too much, or because it is delicious and mouth-watering, or because people usually like sweets. Any answer can be considered correct if it relates directly to the text. A good example about instructional text from a student book is the one under the title Picture Call. Picture Call is a software application, and there are steps on how to download Picture Call on your PC. Module 5, let's communicate a few clicks away. That's all about revising reading texts that will be included in the third assessment. Another booklet has been prepared under the title Use of Language Revision. In the third assessment, there will be usually 7 questions on the use of language. To clarify them, let's read these questions. Read the following sentence and answer the question that follows. The concerning standards 1.1 and 1.2, and they are about words usage within a context. Muslims to greet each other. Which word best belongs in the blank? Shake hands, put their hands on their hips, move their hands round to their ears. The answer is shake hands. A good example taken from a student book about such a kind of a question is vocabulary 3, module 5, gestures. You see here? In Japan, for example, it's polite to bow when you greet each other, when you greet other people. Second question on use of language. Read the following sentence and answer the question that follows. The concerning standard is 1.5. 1.5 is about verbs which take either infinitive or gerund or both. He stopped as he heard a then. Which word best belongs in the blank? Pray, praying, to pray. And the correct answer is to pray. Why? I told you before that the verb stop, if it is followed with the ing form, then it means quit. But if it is followed with the infinitive form, this means that you have stopped doing something you were busy in to start doing something else. Logically, the answer is you stop doing something to start praying. To start praying or to pray. Why? Because you heard a then. A good example about this kind of questions taken from a student book is available in module 5 D, gestures. grammar. You see? Here the explanation of the verb stop use. The third item of use of language is concerned with the standard 2.7. The standard 2.7 is about prefixes for negating. Prefixes for negating. Let's consider this example. The verb eat is a or an verb. Which word best belongs in the blank? Regular, irregular, irregular. You've been told before that words starting with the sound ra should be negated, at most should be negated with the prefix er. So the answer is C, irregular. A good example taken from a student book related to such kind of a question is Vocabulary 2, Module 5, Connecting People. What's the difference between advantage and disadvantage? You see? The fourth item, sorry, it's by mistake. The fourth item is concerned with the standard 2.8. 2.8 is to identify vowel phonemes with the same spelling but with different pronunciation. Here the context is a clue to meaning and pronunciation. Let's read this example. He traveled around the, which word best belongs in the blank? More, so, well. The answer is well. All the words are spelled in the same way. O-R, O-R, O-R. More and sort share the same pronunciation, whereas word has a different pronunciation. And generally, from the meaning, you can notice that the answer should be well, because you cannot travel around the more, you cannot travel around the sort, you have to travel around the word. A good example about this kind of a question taken from a student book is pronunciation for Module 5, gestures. You see? Consider examples number 7 and 8. Use your foot to press the yellow button on the floor. The boy gave some money to the poor man and walked away. This word is read poor, whereas this word is read foot. And you cannot use your poor to press the yellow. It's a logical answer. The fifth item is which word of the following has a silent consonant? 2.3 and 2.3 is the standard, which is concerned with the spelling and pronunciation of silent consonants. Which word of the following has a silent consonant? Cute, jet, read. The answer is B, jet. Why? Because the sound B is silent, or is not read, or is not pronounced. A good example about this taken from a student book, Pronunciation 3, Module 5, Word Languages. Let's communicate. Listen and repeat. Which consonants are silent? Stomach, psychology, or and palm. La is silent, sa is silent. The sixth item in the use of language booklet, which word has an underlined silent vowel? 2.4. 2.4 is concerned with the spelling and pronouncing silent vowels. Cute, ka, bite. The underlined vowel in the word cute is U, and U is read or is pronounced. So this can't be the answer. A, the sound A here is silent, but it is not underlined. We are asking here about the underlined silent vowel, and this is available only in the choice C, bite. It is not read bitey, rather it is read bite. bite. So is silent. Good example about item number 6, available in a student book, is module 5, B, sign language. Read the words below and underline the silent vowels. Dictionary, marriage, interest, vegetable, chocolate. The last item in the use of language booklet is which word is misspelled. The standard is 8.2. 8.2 is about identifying misspelled words. This question or this item can be answered through your experience within the lessons of the year. At the beginning of each lesson, usually we write the keywords and we used to pronounce them following a dictionary, a British dictionary. Here we have risk, responsible, addicted, and the answer is addicted because it should have double D. Finally, I hope you study hard and you get high marks, and in case you face any difficulty, you can come to my office and ask me, and I will be ready to give you a help. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.